It is the year 1320. You wake up before sunrise. Your stomach hurts from hunger. The straw mattress beneath you is damp and smells of mold. A rat runs across the floor of your hut. Outside, the church bell rings. Another day has begun. Another day you must survive. You are not a knight. You are not a lord. You are not even free. You are a peasant, and your life will be harder than you can imagine. Childhood. You were born in a small village somewhere in medieval Europe. Your home is a one-room hut made of mud and wood. The roof leaks when it rains. In winter, smoke from the fire fills the entire room because there is no chimney. You share the house with your parents, 2 sisters, 3 chickens, and sometimes a goat. Privacy does not exist. Neither does comfort. Your mother says most children do not live long here. Many die before they learn to walk. You were lucky. When you are 5 years old, work begins. Childhood is a luxury peasants do not have. Your father takes you to the fields. The soil is cold and hard beneath your bare feet. You help pull weeds from the ground. Your fingers bleed from the rough earth. But if you stop working, your family will not eat. By the time you are 7, you already know the rules of this world. The land does not belong to your family. It belongs to the lord of the manor. Every year you must give him grain, eggs, vegetables, and days of free labor. If the harvest is bad, you still owe the same amount, which means someone in the village will go hungry. Sometimes that someone is you. One evening your father sits by the fire. His hands are cracked and covered with dirt that never washes away. He tells you something important. Remember this, boy. A peasant does not live for himself. He lives for the land. You do not fully understand yet, but soon you will. When you are 10 years old, something happens that every peasant fears. The harvest fails. Rain destroys the crops. The fields turn into mud. The grain rots before it can be stored. Winter is coming, and the village knows what that means. Hunger. Real hunger. The kind that makes people desperate. The kind that changes people. One night your mother divides a single loaf of bread between the family. The pieces are small. Too small. You watch your parents pretend they are not hungry. They tell you they have already eaten. But you know they are lying. Because peasants learn early to recognize the look of hunger in someone's eyes. And tonight, everyone has it. Your life as a medieval peasant has only just begun, and the worst years are still ahead. Years pass. The fields no longer feel as endless as they once did. You know every corner of them now, every stone, every ditch where water gathers after rain. Life has become predictable, hard, but predictable. Wake before sunrise, work until the light fades, sleep and repeat, day after day, year after year. Then one morning, something unusual happens. Dust appears on the road leading to the village. At first you think it is traders, but soon you hear the sound, metal, hooves, armor clattering, soldiers. They ride into the village in a long column, men in helmets and chainmail. Some carry spears, others carry bows. Their banners flutter in the wind. You have never seen so many armed men in one place before. Children hide behind their mothers. The villagers stop working and watch in silence. A knight rides at the front of the column. He dismounts near the well and speaks with the village elder. Soon the message spreads through the crowd. The Lord is going to war, and every village must send men to fight. Not knights, not soldiers, peasants. Your heart sinks. You have never held a sword in your life. Your tools are a shovel and a plow. But the order is not a request, it is a command. Within days the chosen men gather in the village square. You stand among them, farmers, mill workers, woodcutters. None of you are warriors, yet now you are expected to become one. The blacksmith hands you a spear. It is heavier than you imagined. Your shield is old and cracked, left behind by someone who probably never returned from war. Training begins immediately. The soldiers shout commands. Hold the line! Raise your shields! Forward! You stumble through the drills. So do the others. A lifetime of farming has made you strong, but strength is not the same as knowing how to fight. Days later, the army begins to move. The village grows smaller behind you as the column marches down the road. You glance back once. Your home, the fields, the small hut where your family waits. You do not know if you will ever see them again. The march lasts for days. Villages pass, forests pass, rivers pass. Everywhere you see the same thing. More soldiers, more banners, more men who were once farmers like you. Then one evening, the army reaches a hill. From the top you see something that makes your stomach turn cold. Across the valley, another army waits. Hundreds of men, armor glinting in the setting sun, spears like a forest of steel. The soldiers beside you grow quiet. Even the veterans stop talking, because everyone knows what tomorrow will bring. Battle, real battle. And suddenly you realize something terrifying. This war has nothing to do with you. You are not fighting for your land, or your family, or your freedom. You are fighting because someone else ordered it. The sun sinks below the horizon. Campfires flicker across the hillside. Men sharpen blades. Some pray. Others sit silently in the dark. You lie awake, staring into the night sky. And for the first time in your life, you truly understand how fragile life is. Tomorrow, you will stand on a battlefield, and by the end of the day, many of the men around you will be dead, maybe even you. Dawn arrives slowly. A gray mist covers the valley. The grass beneath your feet is wet with dew. Men move quietly through the camp. No one speaks much now. The time for talking has passed. Today, you fight. The soldiers form lines across the hillside. You stand shoulder to shoulder with the other peasants. Your hands grip the wooden shaft of your spear. It trembles slightly, not because the weapon is heavy, because you are afraid. Everyone is, even the men pretending not to be. Across the valley, the other army begins to move. You see their banners rising above the fog. Their armor glints in the weak morning light. The sound reaches you before the men themselves. Hundreds of footsteps, metal scraping against metal, drums beating slowly. The ground almost seems to vibrate beneath your feet. A horn blasts somewhere behind you. The signal. Your line begins to move forward, slowly at first, step by step through the wet grass, shields raised, spears angled forward. Your heart beats so loudly you can hear it in your ears. Then the arrows begin. At first it sounds like rain, a strange whistling in the air. Then the first man beside you falls, an arrow buried deep in his shoulder. Another crashes into a shield nearby. Men shout, someone screams. The line hesitates, but the officers behind you shout for everyone to keep moving. The two armies grow closer. 50 steps, 30, 20. You can now see the faces of the men ahead. They look just like you. Farmers, workers, men pulled away from their lives, all about to collide. The moment of impact comes suddenly. A roar erupts from both sides as the lines crash together, spears thrust forward, shields slam against shields. The world explodes into noise. You push forward with the others. Your spear strikes something. You don't even know what. A shield? A man? Everything moves too fast. Someone slams into you from the side. You stumble but keep your footing. Around you, men shove, scream, and swing weapons wildly. The neat battle line breaks apart within minutes. Now it is chaos. Small groups of men fighting desperately. Steel flashes in every direction. Mud churns beneath your boots. The smell of sweat, blood, and wet earth fills the air. A man charges toward you with a sword raised high. Instinct takes over. You thrust your spear forward. He stops suddenly, drops his weapon, and falls into the mud. For a moment, you just stare. You have never killed anyone before, but there is no time to think. Another man rushes past you. Someone crashes into your shield. You fall to one knee. Nearby, a knight on horseback rides through the chaos. His sword swings left and right. Men scatter before him. One peasant tries to stand his ground. The horse slams into him. Both disappear into the fighting. Arrows continue to fall from somewhere behind the enemy lines. Men cry out. Some crawl away through the grass. Others lie perfectly still. The battlefield becomes a storm of movement and noise. Then, slowly, the sound begins to change. Less shouting, more running. You look up. The enemy line is breaking. Some of their soldiers turn and flee down the slope. Others throw down their weapons. Your side surges forward. The battle that felt endless suddenly begins to collapse. Within minutes, it is over. The valley grows quiet again. Only the wounded still cry out across the field. Broken shields and spears litter the ground. Bodies lie scattered across the grass where men stood only moments before. You stand there breathing heavily, your spear still clutched in your hands, trying to understand what just happened. Hours later, the army gathers again. The survivors form loose groups among the fallen. The officers speak quietly with the knights. The battle is finished. Your lord's army has won. You look across the valley one last time. The mist has returned, slowly covering the field, covering the dead, covering everything that happened here today. Not long after, the army begins the long march home. You walk with the others in silence. Behind you, the battlefield disappears into the distance, and ahead of you, the fields wait, just as they always have.